Hi all, welcome to the Watched channel. Today I'm going to be talking about these Casioak homages, or rip-offs, or clones if you want to even call it that. To start off, I actually sold my original Casio GA2100 because I bought myself one of these. It's an edifice and I really like this watch. Much better than the Casioak. And so I no longer have a need for the original, and these could be had quite cheap off Aliexpress. So I'll first talk about this one. It's the SKMEI 2100, and no surprises as to how they came up with this number. So as you can see, this one has Woodstock at the top, which is a modification I've done. I've actually modified this by buying two of these, that's how cheap they are, because I wanted the yellow strap, but also a black case. They come in quite a different number of configurations, but they're so cheap that they're easy to mod. I also painted the inner ring, and there's a separate video on my channel if you want to see how it was done, but very easy to mod and super cool. Really cheap, bit thicker than the Casio, but really nice, supple rubber strap. And really comfy. I actually really like this watch, and you can tell it's different to the Casio with the screws, but overall really nice cheap buy, particularly if you're on a budget. Next up is the SMAEL 8088. So I actually bought this one because I wanted to mod it with an Aliexpress G-Shock bezel, because the SKMEI wouldn't work. You can see this on another video, just due to the way it's constructed and how the band tacks on. It almost fits on this one, but didn't work out. Not a huge fan of this SMAEL. It feels cheaper. The strap is thicker, but you can see it's quite thicker as well. And the gold kind of looks tacky, but again, I bought this just to mod, and yeah, not a huge fan of this one. Also, I can't seem to set the analog hands on this. I've read the instructions, I've tried, and I've given up because I don't actually really like this one, so not really recommended. Now on to the SANDA. This one I really like, and this is the 6016. You can see it's kinda inspired by the Casio, but it's got a few subtle changes. Digital display for the what it would be the day of the week, but you can toggle that between date. And I kind of like how it's a bit more sleeker. This one, I think, this was the cheapest, and I think the SANDA wasn't too much far off the SKMEI price. This is probably my favorite one. It's probably the closest one to the original Casio as well. Just a bit thicker, just like the other two. But in terms of strap and the way the case looks, it's probably the closest one you'll get. But what I do like is it's got its own subtle spin on it to make it not a true clone. And the cool thing about this one is the aftermarket G-Shock bezel does fit on this. If you do want to make it more of a SANDA shock or sand shock. I really actually like SANDA as a brand. They've got some quirky watches. One of my other favorite ones is this open heart style, which is a 6216. Bit hard to see the negative display screen, but yeah, open heart but digital. I never thought I'd say those words, but yeah, I've got a review of this watch as well. This is kind of a cool alternative to the Casio Royale AE1200. And I really like this watch because it's so cool. I do like SANDA as a brand. And going back to SKMEI, this is another favorite of mine. Look at these two SKMEIs. And this is the 1628. This only cost me like $5 Australian. I didn't even want to buy it, it was that cheap as I was scrolling through Aliexpress, and I just had to add it to my cart. So this one has got mod potential, and stay tuned to this channel. I will be modding this to look more custom. But yeah, SKMEI, great brand. They have some semi-original designs as well, but they do have these homages or, you know, rip-offs. SMAEL also have a few others, but I'm not too keen on checking them out after this one. You know, you kind of get what you pay for, but yeah. So cheers for watching, and I hope you like this style of review where it's more unedited, and yeah, cheers, catch ya.